Hello and welcome to this podcast here, 29th of April 2019, with me, Danny J. Hope you guys are fine. What's been going on? There's been a lot going on since I did the last podcast. It's been a while since I did the last podcast. Things are just crazy. There's so much stuff going on around the world of Clickteam and Fusion and everything else that's been going down. I hope you guys are well. I'm so sorry it's taken so long since the last podcast, but there's some exciting things coming up which I felt warranted a podcast at least for you to listen to me for at least 20 minutes today, and we'll see what's been going on over the last few months, and we'll see what we've got to look forward to in the next few months. So we're approaching the end of April already, coming up to May. Can you believe that we're nearly halfway through the year already? When you put it like that into that perspective, it's a little bit daunting. We're on the fifth month already next month, which is literally 2 or 3 days away, and we're going to be going into June 2019. We're literally halfway through the year. It's not going to be long before Christmas is here, but it's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. I'm a big fan of Christmas. You probably know that. So what's been happening around the world of Clickteam? Well, as you are probably aware, Clickteam Fusion 2.5 Plus was released a little over a month ago. And Fusion 2.5 Plus is just a huge, huge stopgap between 2.5 and Fusion 3, and it's filled a lot of voids that Fusion 2.5 had. And it's implemented and introduced many new features which people have been asking for and craving for years. There's a lot of people happy with the release of 2.5 Plus. There's a lot of work that's gone into it, and again, some of it is just a preview of features to come in Fusion 3. So it's a really good DLC. It's available now. You can check that out. You can go over to Clickteam's website, clickteam.com, and check out the DLC there. You can purchase it there. If you're using Steam, you can get it on Steam as well as a DLC. You can check that out over on the community hub, over on the Clickteam Steam powered page. And yeah, it's available now. I'd get it now. It's going to help you so much. I mean, it includes things like a profiler and child events. Let's just go through a couple of these things, what it features, because as this was being built, or as this was being developed, obviously I had the opportunity to see everything unfold and test features a long, long time before it was released. So, because obviously internally at Clickteam, it's good for people like me and Olivia and some of the other guys as well. We like to get hands on with helping to speed up the development of things like this, because we can test things out. And we can help the development along, which is really good. So this is what else? So what have we got? Obviously, the profiler is one of the biggest ones. You can now check out how well your application performs with the Clickteam Fusion 2.5 runtime, and I feel like this is a well-deserved feature, and a very welcomed feature as well, especially by the more serious developers who are looking for every ounce, every millisecond that they can save on performance for their application. So whether it's for mobile or for Windows or any other exporter, if you can profile your application as you run it in Fusion. So it'll tell you things like how many milliseconds a certain event took to run or execute, and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of jazz to it. I'm hoping to cover it in some tutorial videos, just so you can, if you've not got a grasp of what it actually does, then hopefully I can show you how. And you can start and stop the profiler at any time, so you can actually start it before a series of events executes, and then you can stop it, or you can just have it running all the time, and it's a real handy feature. A little bit hard to explain on a podcast, but I will definitely get round to it. We've got a new find all command as well, which means you can find a text in any object, value or data, global value, alterable value, or alterable string, global string, anything. You just literally find all. So if you type in what it is that you want to find, Fusion will scour through every little bit of data and information, and it will find what you need, which is also a very valuable thing to have. Now you can also run the application from the current frame. If you remember before 2.5 plus, in standard Fusion you could either run the application or you could run the frame. And sometimes it was a bit tedious to run the application right from the beginning if you needed to check out like a different frame, because there were certain things that weren't included um, if you just run the frame. But now you can run the frame. You can run the application from the current frame, which sometimes saves you the hassle of having to go through previous frames just to get to the frame that you want to test, which is an epic feature. But again, there's a massive overview about all this, and I'll put the link below this podcast so you can check out that, and there's a little bit of documentation and stuff so you can read through it. There's all sorts of things in there. Fusion 2.5 Plus features all sorts. It even features DirectX 11, which is a new runtime. It's obviously a lot faster than DirectX 9, which is currently being used. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with DirectX 9. I mean, some engines have been utilizing DirectX 11 for many years, and a lot of developers still revert back to DirectX 9. So DirectX 9 for me is still a good runtime, and I do still use it. But DirectX 11 obviously brings you some additional new features, such as a pre-multiplied mode on VSync for better composite layers. DX11, just again, it's hard to explain over a podcast what it actually does. You'd have to see it for yourself, but there's a new feature where you can specify the number of back buffers, what to use, pixel shaders as well. You can also use DX11 pixel shaders now, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that Clickteam have converted most of the DX9 shaders, so they are DX11 compatible. However, if they haven't, I think there is something online. I'll have to check that out for you. There is something online where you can convert it over. But if you know HLSL anyway, if you know the language, you could easily convert them over yourself, or you could just, create some new shaders. Who knows? Events are now a lot more optimized as well. There's a lot of work gone into that. Again, the technicalities of it, a little bit difficult for me to explain over a podcast. But basically what Fusion does is when you run the application, it groups certain events together, and then will allow them to run in the most optimized order rather than just in a linear fashion, which is what we're used to. It still does that, but Fusion internally just kind of sorts them all out and goes, right, it's going to be faster to execute this first, and that kind of stuff. You can also optimize the image size in RAM. This is a huge feature, and basically what this means is when your application's built, Fusion will compress all your images inside to a different format, and it's a much faster format. And obviously there is a little bit of a drawback to that. It just means that building your standalone executable will take a little bit longer because Fusion has to convert all the images. However, when you run the game, you'll notice a massive increase. So if you have big images as well, larger images and animations and sprites, it's probably going to help you in the long run. So I would definitely use it. And there's just all sorts. I'm going to link you to it down below where you can check out all the known features inside 2.5 plus, and it will definitely speed up. I mean, child events as well. We have child events now. So in the past, where you had to create, if you had multiple conditions that you wanted to test against the same primary condition, you had to create like 6 or 7 events, whereas now you don't have to. You create your primary condition and then you have a nested set of child events, each with one condition on, so it matches up itself. I don't know whether I've explained that alright or not, but child events basically means visually it's easier for you to create events that are of the same nature. So if you have, for example, if you're testing against a fast loop, your first condition would be on loop this loop, and then you would have a second condition attached. Maybe you want to test the exposition of an object, so you would then have on that second condition would be exposition of active is equal or greater to 50. But then if you wanted to test if it was lower than 50, you had to create the same event below it, and then change the X position to lower than 50. Whereas you don't have to do that now. You can just literally create an event that says on loop, this loop, and then you would create a series of child events. The first one would be X position of active is greater than 50, and then the second one would be X position of active is lower than 50. So again, you get the gist of it. There is some stuff already done up on there. I'll probably do some stuff. I will be doing some stuff at the Academy with regards to Fusion 2.5, trying to go through as much as I can. Depends what people most want to help with, I suppose. But there's all sorts in there. So check out the link below. You'll be able to check out the official documentation and have a browse over that. See for yourself. So what else have we got going down? We have, I'll tell you what we do have, this excites me. The Fusion Workshop 101. If you've not heard of it yet, if you've not seen it yet, check out the link below, because this is the very first of a kind ever done, as far as I know anyway, ever done with Clickteam Fusion 2.5. Fusion Workshop 101 is going to be running throughout May. Yeah, that's right. So it's May coming up in a couple of days, and basically it's a set of 14 webinars with regards to Fusion 2.5 development. So it's kind of like a course. Well, it is a course, but it's more of a workshop, which then consists of 14 smaller workshops. So it's basically like saying, you know, if you was learning something, if to say you was going to learn painting and decorating in the real world, then someone might say, hey, come to this workshop at college. It's running for 4 weeks, and we're going to teach you everything that we could possibly teach you with regards to painting and decorating. That's exactly what Fusion Workshop 101 is all about. You sign up to the workshop, and it is limited in seats, and that's not a sales ploy. It literally is limited in seats because of the way that we're going to do the live webinars. There is only so many seats available where we can do the live webinar. So again, it's not a sales ploy. The limited seats available literally means limited seats available. I think at this time, at this moment that I'm creating this podcast, there's only about 8 seats left, so you can check that out. And the webinar is going to be huge. I mean, this running throughout the whole of May. It's going to start on the 1st of May, which is Wednesday, coming up in a couple of days. So you've still got time to enroll. And it's going to be taught in 1 hour live streams with real-time question and answers. It's going to run 3 days a week over the duration of a full month. It's going to total around 14 hours. So we're going to be running it on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday every single week throughout May. And it doesn't matter if you miss any. If you think, oh, you know, I might not be able to make it a certain day, or I can't watch it on a certain day. It doesn't matter if you can't watch one or you miss one. It doesn't matter, because as soon as the webinar is finished, you'll be able to access it straight away on the website anyway. So you're not going to miss anything. It's going to feature 14 live webinars, and this the first one's going to be the Fast Loop Masterclass. So the Fast Loop Masterclass is going to be all about learning about fast loops, how we can execute fast loops, how we can group them together, how we can optimize fast loops, and all that kind of jazz. And then one of the other webinars is learning how to scope like a pro. So Learn How to Scope Like a Pro is the title, and it's basically we're going to learn how to do scoping in Fusion, deep scoping, nested scoping. We're going to be doing all sorts of scoping. So if you've got a million objects in your game, we're going to make sure that one that you want to scope down to, we're going to get to it at some point. Then we're going to learn about one-frame setups in the Pro Engine building workshop. That's all about how to use Fusion 2.5 to develop one-frame engines. And obviously with 2.5 plus, there's a new base frame feature as well. So we'll probably cover that, but we'll try and keep it 2.5 related and not just 2.5 plus. So for people that don't have the DLC, we're also going to be learning about function calling and sub apps, how you can use sub apps. Sub applications inside your applications and games, so they can interact with each other. And we're going to learn how to do function calling as well and create functions. And then we're also going to be looking at stuff like there's a webinar called 6 Steps to Positive Game Marketing. So we're going to be looking at things like marketing your game, how you can market before release, build hype, post release, what you can do. There's going to be all sorts of stuff in there, and there's also a special effects building class as well. There's going to be all sorts. You can check it out in the link below. You can check out all the webinars that are going to be available for that. And again, you can attend any of the live sessions. You can get involved as well. You can talk. You can ask questions, get answers, and all that kind of stuff. You can do all that as part of the Fusion workshop. And if you're gonna miss one or two, it doesn't matter, because as soon as the webinar is complete, you'll be able to view the webinar again through the hub on the website. So you're not going to miss anything. You're not going to miss anything at all. I'll post a link below. And again, at this time that I'm doing this podcast right now, I think there's 8 seats left. So it's literally a first come first serve basis. All the rest of the seats have been filled. If you want to get involved, sign up now and get that sorted, and it's going to be great. It's going to go throughout the whole month of May. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. I'm excited. We've also got some special guests coming on. They're going to be doing their thing as well. There's going to be all sorts that revolves around the Fusion Workshop 101, but I'm very, 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 as you can tell, very excited to get this up and running. And aside of that, I've been working on stuff that I can implement into the Fusion Workshop. There is quite a few things that I've been looking to implement into the Fusion Workshop, like trying to get people involved as much as possible. Like we're going to be doing loads of interactive stuff, so you can get involved with chat, so you can chat using your keyboard. We're also going to have a segmented room as well, so you can jump on voice. So if you want to speak during some of the webinars, you can do. All these options are going to be available. I want to get people really involved and talking to each other and asking questions and getting answers and maybe even giving your own advice, or sharing some knowledge that you guys have got. I really want people to get involved with this, so you can check that out now. The link is over at below this podcast. You'll be able to find it, but if you head over to OneClick.training and then click on courses and just click on Fusion Workshop, you'll be able to get the sign up page there, where you'll be able to sign up to the Fusion Workshop 101. Again, it kicks off in a couple of days. I'm very excited. For those of you guys who have already signed up and enrolled, you will get the full schedule will be released tomorrow. If you notice, if you go to the hub at the minute, there's not much in there. There's obviously, because it's waiting for the layout of the schedule. So the full schedule is going to be released by tomorrow night. You'll get that in an email ready for Wednesday, when we kick off with the Fusion Workshop 101. And finally, Game Launcher Creator. I've been working on Game Launcher Creator quite a bit this year. I released it last year. If you've not seen it, it's a Game Launcher Creator that enables people to create their own game launchers. It's got full WYSIWYG drag and drop capabilities. You just drop components in and you configure them, and you can have all sorts in there. And last year, the Game Launcher Creator was very successful, and I basically listened to what everybody had to say with regards to what they wanted to see inside Game Launcher Creator, features, and obviously any bugs that are cropped up, and I've ironed all them out. And this year we're on the 4th month, and we've already seen 5 or 6 updates on that, and I've been working really hard on the Game Launcher Creator, and it's still going well. It supports any game engine, not just Clickteam Fusion 2.5. It supports anything from Construct to Unity, RPG Maker, Game Maker, Game Maker Studio, everything. Game Guru, FPS Creator. It supports any game engine. So if you've not checked out Game Launcher Creator yet, I highly suggest you do. And again, the link will be below, but you can check it out. It's got its own website, GameLauncherCreator.com. And again, there's just so many exciting things coming up. I've got a new schedule now, which I'm abiding to. If you forget about all the other stuff now and just go back to what we're doing with Fusion, me personally, I've got a whole new schedule lined up because for the last, let's say, 2 or 3 months, I've been doing what I can or where I can without any kind of format, because I'm helping people in Discord as well, not just on the Clickteam channel but on my channels, and I've been, so I'm constantly on the go. I've got emails all the time, and I'm helping people on live chat all the time, which is good. I enjoy doing that. However, I do need a bit of structure again. Last year I had some good structure, but these few months of this first year, I've been a little bit structureless. Still productive. I've not felt like I've had any bad times, bad occasions, but still productive. And the best thing is, with having a structure in place, obviously the Fusion Workshop 101 kicks off on Wednesday. There's still a few things I need to add to the Academy. There's some new video tutorials coming up for the ClickFusion Academy, which will introduce certain features in Fusion 2.5 Plus. So I want to get everybody acquainted with 2.5 Plus. If you've got it and you're stuck on a few things, let me know. Drop me an email, drop me a message if you want me to show you a specific tutorial, you want me to create a specific tutorial and show you how to do this and do that. Let me know, and I can get on that for you. So throughout the month of May, we've got the Fusion Workshop 101. We've got lots of updates to come to the ClickFusion Academy in terms of new video tutorials that are going to be coming up. I'm going to do, if I can get some time this month, I'm going to try, May, I'm going to try and do some written tutorials. The thing is with written tutorials is everything's so much faster to do as a video because I can visually show you what I'm doing and I can speak as I'm doing it. And 90% of people that I've had feedback from with the Academy prefer videos, but there's still a 10% that like to have written documentation. But again, what would take me 2.5 hours to do as a written tutorial would only take me 10 minutes as a video, so you see where the difference is. However, I do still understand that people do like to have written content, so I'm going to try and get some time in this month to do some written tutorials on the Fusion 2.5 Plus DLC, and maybe above a couple tutorials as well I can get in there. We're still redesigning the Academy. I hope you like the new look that I did this month. It's got a whole new look to it again, and I know I keep changing things. I just want to make sure I get things right. I just want you guys to have a good user experience. You can just log into the Academy and access all the content straight away. I'm just trying all the time just to make sure that I can provide the best user experience for you with regards to the Academy. And if you don't know by now, we've got OneClick Training as well. I released a blog post about this. About the launch of OneClick Training, which launched back in March, which was only just over a month ago, maybe 2 months nearly. It's coming up for being live, and everybody kind of got the gist, except a few people maybe didn't get the gist of what OneClick Training is all about and why it's separate from the Academy. Well, the reason for it is because back in 2013, I created some courses on Udemy. You might be aware of Udemy. If you're not, Udemy is an online course website. Now, I started uploading my courses to Udemy. The problem you've got with Udemy, I'll just be straight up about this. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm not gonna cover anything up. I'm gonna be straight up. The problem is with Udemy is it's not my platform. It's their platform. So there's a whole host of things I don't have access to. For example, I don't know. I know who's enrolled into any courses, but you don't get much information. You don't get any email addresses, contact information. You don't get anything like that. The second thing is Udemy were killing me off when it comes to the cost of the courses. There's some of the courses that I did, like the especially the game dev crash course and the build a space shooter course, which is the most popular one. Everybody loves the space shooter course, which is great. I enjoyed doing it. The thing is with the build a space shooter course is that course actually took me around about 2 to 3 months to develop. That's a long time to develop a course because it's quite an intermediate stroke advanced course. It will teach you a lot with Fusion 2.5. So the issue I had with Udemy is these courses were going out at I think it was I can't even remember what the price tag was on it. They were supposed to be going out at $70. Udemy were spilling them out at $10, and then they took like 90% commission. I was literally getting $1, and I was just thinking it was demoralizing. I'm going to be straight up with you, it was demoralizing because you imagine working 2 to 3 months on something, and you've got all these gateways when you release the product, and you end up with $1 each time. It's not cool. It's not fun. But it's not all about the money. My issue is I was developing content and courses technically for a different company, and they were reaping all the profits, and they've not done anything except provide me a platform. So what I did was with OneClick Training was I decided enough was enough with Udemy. It wasn't just about the money, it was about the communication with students, it was about marketing, and it was about being able to provide the best service I could. And I didn't feel like I could do that with Udemy's platform, Udemy's website. And don't get me wrong, I'm not slating Udemy off. Udemy is great. Udemy is great for certain case uses, but not ideal for me. So what I did was I've got the expertise and I've got the technical knowledge to build my own platform. The only issue I had was having time to build my own platform. So back in January and February, I took the time out to develop my own platform, which is now OneClick Training. You can check out our website at oneclick.training. So basically, what I did was I built the platform. Literally single-handedly built the platform. I had to do the entire design, the mechanic of how everything works, to set up the membership area and all that kind of stuff. And what I did was I took all my courses off Udemy and put them onto my own platform. And now it's 100 times better, not just for me. It's 100 times better for me, but it's 100 times better for anybody who signs up to any of them courses, because I now have complete control over them courses, over all the content, over communication, over support, everything. I have complete access. So if you've got a problem with something, you can drop me a message on live chat now, and I'm there. Even if I'm not at the office, I'm out and about with my mobile, and I get notification on my mobile that someone needs help. I can jump on it and help you out. I couldn't do that with Udemy. So it's all about me being able to give the best I can. At the end of the day, this is my content, it's my work, it's my time, and they're my products. So I felt that they deserve to be on my platform, and that way I have complete control over marketing, communication, support, everything, memberships, everything, which is great. So that's the reason why OneClick Training evolved. You've got to remember, some of these courses have been on there since 2013. That was before the Academy started. I started the Academy at the end of 2015. It was December 2015 when we launched the Academy. It was called Fusion Rad back then, and then I rebranded it to the ClickFusion Academy. Was it 2015? No, it's 2016, I think. Jumping the gun. Not enough coffee this morning. But I started the Academy off as Fusion Rad, and then we ended up rebranding into the ClickFusion Academy. I think it was mid-2017. So we have been going for nearly 3 years, which is great. I love it. I love doing what I do. I love providing the Academy. I love providing content. I love helping people out. And I've received mostly nothing but great feedback from you guys, people that are members of the Academy, which is good. It's a full-time job for me. It's a full-time job. The Academy and the OneClick Training courses that I provide, it is full-time, and I do a lot of other stuff as well with schools, and obviously I do the stuff that I do for Clickteam, and then I've got the software that I develop as well. But it's good, and this is why it all comes back to starting on the 1st of May. I'm going to have a nice structured month of this and that and this and that, and it's going to be great. I'm just looking forward to doing the Fusion Workshop 101 so much. I'm looking forward to the special guests that are going to be joining me on that as well, and I'm looking for Game Launcher Creators running smooth at the minute, so I'm just waiting for anything to come back on that. But as far as I know, nobody's got any issues, no bugs, so that's good. I can relax about that, and obviously there's a lot of stuff to do with Fusion 2.5 Plus as well. So thanks for joining me on this podcast today. I'm sorry it's been so long since the last one. And I also bought a new little dead cat for my mic, but I can't find it. So if there's any crackling and pops in this, I do apologise, but I will find it. It's in my video cable box somewhere. I don't know whether you guys have this. I have this weird thing at home where I have boxes for certain things, and again, that was all about me sorting my life out, because I used to have a big cable box, and it had everything in it, from HDMI cables to VGA cables to power cables and all sorts of things. Obviously, I do a lot of cinematography as well, as in my spare time, and photography. So I was like, right, what am I going to do with all this? So now I have three boxes. I have a PC box with all my PC cables in, spare mice and webcams and all that kind of jazz. And then I have an audio box which has all my audio cables in, which I have thousands of each one, different types. And then I have my video box where I have all my video stuff in as well. So it's life life feels all right at the minute. Life feels good. Life feels organised. But thanks for tuning into the podcast again. I'm sorry it took so long. It won't take this long. I'm going to probably do another podcast after the Fusion Workshop has finished at the end of May. And again, I'm looking forward to the Fusion Workshop 101. There's limited seats available, so you guys need to get your seats reserved today if you want to be a part of that. It's going to be something very unique. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it summed up. The rest of today, I'm going to crack on with getting the structure of the Fusion Workshop 101 ready, because we need to get the schedule out before tomorrow night, so everybody who's signed up knows what to expect and what webinars are happening on what days and whatnot. So I'm going to crack on with that today and get all that sorted out, and all the paperwork and all the downloads and assets that people can that are going to be using, and all that kind of jazz. So thanks for tuning in. It's been good to talk. It's been good to talk to nobody or everybody, depends how you see it on a podcast, doesn't it? And hopefully I can get a couple of people on the podcast for the end of May as well. Hopefully some people that have been involved with the Fusion Workshop, so they can give some input on that. But until next time, happy developing, and I'll see you around.